Good evening. Oh. How can they do that? Is it better if I smoke weed or something? You know why I smoke the weed now? Fuck. Before I ever took any medication, I never had a headache, I never sweat. Now that I take the medication, all they do is, it's a threat. Well, if you don't take it, it's never to help you and we'll stay out of the hospital. You'll end up in the hospital. You know what it's like in the hospital, don't you? I just heard a commercial today for all the poor young kids which have cancer disease are able to have internet and things to do, but all the patients who are mentally disturbed, they take everything away from them and lock them up. Like they can never go out and feel like they're no longer a part of the society. Do you think I tell you a lie? This is what I went through when this whole thing began. They put the nurse. But what good's a doctor if he doesn't really understand the totality of Matrix? To understand that in only one way, that we still need medical help. Now they've had other characters and other characters, but let's go on from something else. It's just retarded. I go in and I'm looking for something to do. Oh my God, I'm stressed. I need to get outside. I feel like I'm locked. Oh no, you can't go out. There's nobody here to help. Not enough money. Not enough money. Just a few designs. See the square and the X? It's EXO all in one house. 10,000 souls were on the line. It went up to 59. I'll raise my bet to 105. Well, go ahead. Give me an ace. He made a bet that he had an ace in his hand. Because the only way for him to make that bet on Spanish Train is for him to have an ace in his hand. In fact, the only way for anything to happen is for the Lord to have 3 aces in his hand. Because the ace, when you play it in 2 different worlds, it becomes 1, 11, or 14. Becoming 14, it extends out, becomes the 15. Ace 2, Ace 1. Sigma, the way we end up designing this, doesn't it look like Uranus? The Monopoly car, here's the slot. Here's the elbow and here's the slot. He's got to go down like a diver and dive right in between the circle over here to get that DNA into life. So he jumps and he coils his way in. The car looks like a club. It's from Monopoly. You see North Star? That's the only way to go through 5 is up and down. You can't go straight through 5. You jump to here, you jump down to here, you jump from here, you jump down to here, and you meet each other in the center. There's a circle in the center. You have to jump right through that circle. I don't know what it means, but I just like the design. See the 8? See the X that's within it? You see these arrows that create the E? It says hex. Something else, I'm just jumping on a bunch of things right now, but I have a question earlier on, about 6 or 8 years ago. I marked 7286 minus what I figured was the end of the world. Now this is old, this book is, I think is old, but 7286 minus 2012 equals 5274. Or we can go to 5275, but at 5274 it says Earth, Man, and Jesus. 2005 to 7279. Why? Because 7286, figuring if it finished in 2012, I'd reduce by 7 years. Then we end up with 2005 minus 7286, because that was the year it all began, and we end up with Venus, Man, Spirit. 5 and 2 is 7 of 9. Says Rothschild again. The Rothschilds followed everything. The Aztec Freelies of 1539. 15 is the letter O. 39 is S and T or R and U. It's O Rust, or it's Store. Do you know what I'm saying? A, E, C, which says Ace. Ace Birth. Aztec Freely. Why? Because this okay, this symbolism, and 4286, which now represents many things in my life, okay, which represents the Baltic, which represents the Mediterranean, where it represents the cat, because 2 times 4 is 8, 2 plus 4 is 6, 4 and 6 is 10, 2 and 8 is 10, we got the 10-10 world of the Aztec freelies. Now if we want to look back into something, I'll take out this book over here. No, that's not the right book. Take out this book. It's funny. I recorded when I was younger. I used to record the Montreal Canadiens, take it out of the paper and retype it all. And when I got sick, all of a sudden I started recording again. I went through a 25-year period of what I wasn't recording. I was always recording. All my life I've been recording. I used to deliver animal feed, and I used to pick up pigs and deliver pigs. And I was always calculating. I've never stopped calculating. I've gotten this book from a source that is unknown. Maybe they know what the source is, but I don't know what the source is. And it's a piece in here that says, "You are messenger 4-1063. You are now from another nebula zone, and Serge has come here to show himself to you, Mr. Ronald. For this is an old friend of your grandfather's from 1971. 1971, Mississippi Spirit." That's what it says. 197, which 9 times 7 is 63. MISSISSIPPI and Rothschild all hook up to the same numbers. Rothschild is 97. Rothschild is 97. And on all the debit machines, they now put the Z and the Q on the 1, where there was nothing but an exclamation point before, but now they're showing their true colors. Because Q is 17, 1 and 7 is 8, and Z is 2 and 6 is 8. Now if you add up R, S, T, U, V, W, X, and then add up the Q and the Z, I need to know what that gets to. Yes, I can do it. I can jump into it, but the minute I get a number and I start explaining it to you, it'll take 10 minutes before I do it properly. Then I have to explain to you situations so you'll understand the situations where they go. So let's just take it that they removed from the telephone. In the place of 7 and 9, they've taken out the Q and they took out the Z. If you add them together, it's 43, Earth and Mars, and creates the number to the moon and Barack Obama. And at the same time as a replicantation, and this is one thing I would like you to move on. I would like the world to know. From this day on, I want the world to know, and I've never asked anything and never felt so deep about something, because 50 is the passage. Okay, and JFK is the 34th president. He is not the 35th president, because Grover Cleveland was number 22 and number 24. 22 is Venus. It is the center world. It recreates Mars, but it only recreates Mars in your mind. Venus can't exist. The only way for Venus to exist is if she's part of the earth, part of the element of life, in which stores the energy in order for man to survive and come to it at birth, is Venus, more than anything else. She is life, and everything that brings life comes from Venus, on the surgence and the energy of the fuel, the water, fossil fuels, the lead in which that Mercury gives off. 4-messenger, but he couldn't not make progress with you, Ronald. It'll eventually lead to your hospitalization. You see, they knew how to talk to me. Although it's been like 9 years since I went in. You never really have to go in. It's just that people like me, I'm a little different than the other people because I know why I went in. I know what happened. The other side of the world opened up. A new world opens up. The more evil wants to do something, they have to open up a gateway. If you are there and ready to open up your mind to the new worlds, you will go in and you will come out with them. Except when you go in and you do not know what is happening, you'll think that you're sick or something. So they'll give you medication. Now that you've opened the barrier, like the G point of a woman, now that you broke the barrier, it can no longer be closed. Now it can only be controlled because she's wild, my friends. If I really want, I'm quite sure I can dive into something and really come out with some succulent beefsteaks at the end of my thoughts. But I also know that if you can't sleep, because it does stress up your whole body, because you're so into it, so if you don't do it perfectly, or maybe you'll get a headache, I don't know what can happen to my body, so I refrain to actually go into that. Have you ever seen the movie where they stop the guy's heart and they say, okay, go into the other world? Oh, I believe there's another world. Oh, and death? The only death is, oh, fuck, you're dying. You're going to be leaving us? You're going to be leaving us? You're going to where you have to go and you're leaving us here? Shit. I don't even have to tell you have a good time, but just so you know I'll be okay, here's a kiss on the head. I'll meet you in 20 years. So this is what it says. Unless you take this next word from Serge, okay, important, okay. Oh, and I just saw something over here. Canadians hockey. But you see the number? The number 4? See the number 4 show up? It's an X on the wrong angle. So let me read this again to you. Serge's name is now in another nebula, working on another spirit, who is due to land with us in the constellation Mayan near the Aztec freelies of 1539. You can never go there because your old spirit world connectors are locked and at odds with the Mayans. But 7286 may still allow you in. But I'm not sure anymore. I must talk with Serge, a brother of the Israelites. Israelite. Israel, it is a ray of light. Israelites. It is a ray of light. Whoever read it the other way? Israelis, Israelite, it is the ray of light. Are you reading properly? Israeli is actually 1-5 saying 15. It means the egg of reality, Israeli. You want to say Hebrew? Do you want to say it because I'm Spanish and the B is a V, now it's Ivru? Or maybe it's just saying Ru, like the rusty old tire. Serge is now in another nebula, in another constellation, the Mayan near the Aztec freelies of 1539. You can never go there because your old world connections are locked and at odds with the Mayans. But 7286 will still allow you in, but I'm not sure anymore. I must talk with Serge, brother of the Israelites, for I know the test has been upgraded from failed to incomplete. You are now a lucky soul. How'd you like to get that in the mail? What? I'm dizzy. Come on, Ronnie. Another message will be heading your way one day soon. This will be a very serious time for you in the spirit world, for your spirit world journey is in trouble now. Gen is a non-believer, and it could be the Genesis or the Genesis. I'm not really sure what that means. Ronald, Saturday has arrived, but your meter to arrive in the nebulas with the ancients is disappearing. How much pain do you expect to dish out before you are semi-guaranteed to the spirit world before it is taken away from you? The crows are not telling a good story, and it is them who will reveal themselves to you from the unknown. The crows are not telling a good story, and it's who's going to reveal to who? Messenger 410-63 is now in another nebula zone. He tried to show himself to you, but now your world XXX is locked. Anyways, that's something I got in the mail. We read this, okay? I'm just going to show a couple of pictures. The oil down into the ground, plugged up electronically to the ground. As it's taking up the oil, the energy is going back down. As you take the oil out, it's not the oil they want. They need to control something underneath the ground. Where things are being built and why, and who owns the rights to saying yes, yay, or nay. It doesn't lie. The Hebrew letters, they start from here to here. They don't lie. See the way it's shaped? See the way it's shaped over here? That's the way I have to do it. I have to count exactly what they do and redo it so I can understand it better. Remember one thing, that your genes are all on this angle. So anything that's straight is a line that's connecting. But whatever's on this angle, okay, is the angle of the matrix. It's not straight. If you go straight is like this. Straight is like this. It creates 5252. I'm just trying to put away some books. The road we travel D, I, C, or look, number 5. Number 5 upside down, number 5 right side up, 55. This is the Monopoly board. I didn't finish setting it up, and I ended up stretching it out too far, as you can tell, the center. So I decided to play just one side. 9 here, forget about these properties, and here. I was going to bring the board closer together, and I'd end up with this on top of this, and you'd end up with a square opening with 3 teeth. But in order for me to put these teeth in, I would have to jump and put it here and skip one. I'd have to have the opposite so everything would fit. I'm just putting things away now. I have just a bunch of things that I just want to stick out there. Wow, 15 minutes, eh? I like this little design that I did. Looks like the cow, doesn't it? Another thing I wanted to show. 17, 20, 26. Why can I do this? Because this is part of the roulette wheel and these two numbers are black. So I can jump down 3. I jump down 3. I got 3. Now I can go up 3. 23, 26. Why? Because I jumped 3. I went 3. Now I have 3 extra here. I took it away from here and I put it onto here. I jump over here. See the way it turns into a bird? The beak, the bird, the face is how they connect things. But the best one out of all of them is this one here. It says Rubik's Cube. But once you see what it says, 0110 or OIIO, 06I9, 6996, T is 8, and V is 4. But if you really look at it, it says 1010 TV. And then underneath, if you turn it on the side, it says 7, 8, 8. I mean, you can do a lot of things, but I was never really sure where to go, so I marked AF8833717. This says Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube right here. Turns into 0110IV, if you want to put it that way. This is a K. You can look at it as a K underneath. And I'm just showing you things like that, and I should just be quiet about all this, because it makes no difference. See these things over here? W and W I put inside, and all of a sudden I got some sort of face that came out of there. Trying to look what else there is. Oh yes. Anybody ready for an eye test? Pot, Pope, Pop, Deaf. I mean, what do you want to describe out of this? Edifice, it says building. Z-O-N-E. Because once you do it this way, it's a Z and an N. Zone. Pose. Toe. Toe-ed. So whatever they did in here, there's letters that are not in here, and the letters that are not in here will tell you a whole other story. But I'm not going to get into this right now, but I do put it on videos, and one of the reasons is just in case somebody asks me, I'll work on it. Somebody asks me, I'll try and make sure that I get time to work on it. I'll remember, and I'll learn. It'll teach me. You'll be teaching me. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I have a paper over here. I have a paper over here that says they're putting more trains on the line. I think I showed this before. They're putting more trains on the line, and look at the number. 6 and 1 is 7, 5 and 2 is 7. If you add it up, it becomes 23. 6 and 5 is 11, 1 and 2 is 2, and 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. This ends up to be 1, 2, 2. It's a Mayan number. It stands out for the month of May, the 1st of May on a leap year. And then it goes 125, which is another Mayan number. 5 by 5 by 5 is 125, and that's the 5th of May. 5 and 2 is 7, 6 and 1 is 7, 5 and 2 is 7, or 25,625 if you really want to look at it. We're coming to the end because they're even announcing it right in my hometown. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Why? Because it's my hometown. Thank you for watching.